Bless Squad, what's going on with y'all, man? It's your boy, Blessed Applesauce, here to bless y'all with another video. And today I want to talk about entries and exits. These are going to be super critical when you're trading. These are literally the foundation of trading and trying to figure out when to get in, when to get out, because a lot of people have issues with this and it affects their risk to reward percentages, it affects their profitability, and overall it just affects their long-term growth of their particular portfolio that they're trying to grow. So before we get into it, make sure you spam the like button, and also sub down below for more content like this. So there's going to be a couple of ways to determine your entry and exit. There's going to be many different strategies out there that are going to be used, but the main two that you need to focus on that will affect every single part of your trading is going to be one, the supply and demand zones. And what is that? Supply and demand zones are where the stock is peaking or where the stock is coming at a valley. And you can see this, aka your support and your resistance level. So right here, we're looking at Apple. Let's make this a little bit thicker just to show that it is a demand zone and not just a line. So this would be one of the these will be one of the supply zones where the stock is peaking. It doesn't get much higher than this. And you're like, okay, these are the highs right here. This will be another one right here where you can see it dips down right here. And let's make that. It dips down right here and it immediately bounces. It dips down right here. It immediately bounces. It dips down right here and it bounces. So you can see these levels right here is showing some type of resistance support level right here. You can also see that right here on the reverse end where it pulls back all the way down to here, pops up, and then drops again. So looking at these supply and demand zones, support and resistance, are what we can determine where we can potentially place entries and exits. So this is another one right here. It bounced 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 right here. It did a little bit of bouncing right here. It didn't do much. I mean, you could have took this for a couple of days. It kind of worked out. If you wanted to play this, it technically worked. But I wouldn't consider this like a legitimate bounce. But yeah, so these are your supply and demand zones. And this is what you want to do when you're determining your entries and exits. Anybody that trades needs to be aware of this because it's like a self-fulfilling prophecy. Everybody's looking at a given price. Let's say you're looking at, in the simplest terms, take it away from the markets, the equity markets. Let's say you're looking at a particular car. And you know your Toyota Camry that you like to buy, you want to buy. The high range on this car is 30,000. The low range on the car is 20,000. If you know you can get your Toyota Camry for 20,000, you know it's a deal and you know you want to immediately buy. If you see your Toyota for 30,000, you know that's the high point. You're like, I really don't want to buy this. And the same thing happens in the market. When they see certain levels and certain prices appear, the market reacts to that and say, oh, this is a good deal. I want to buy this. And that's what we can find in the support and resistance levels, aka the supply and demand zone. So you can see that right here. We're looking at Apple around $156. This becomes a demand zone because they're saying, okay, at $156, same way with our Toyota example, this is a good deal, so people buy in. They buy in, they buy in, they buy in. And that would be one of our entry levels. That would be one of our particular entries levels. So when you're looking at a stock, you say, okay, these are levels. You could want to take a position around this area, around your demand zone, around levels that show that this is a good deal. Because that's what we're looking for in the market. We're looking for a good deal. You're probably asking, how do you determine your exit? And it's going to be the same exact way, but it's going to be in reverse. You're looking at where this stock is going to be overpriced, where people are saying, okay, this is too expensive, nobody's going to want to buy it this high, and that would be around the high. So it'd be 167, it will be around 181, where this thing is showing that it's peaking out, it's not able to go higher than this, and that's where you want to take your exit. It's going to be a lot. It pretty much, to simplify it, that's how it works, or the oversimplified version of how it works. But also with your entries and exits, once you determine what area you want to get in, you also want to determine when to get in. So we have our particular area for this apple. Let's make this a little let's do this. So we've determined that apple is a good deal at $156. We're like, okay, this is great, I like it here, because we have these demand zones we want to look at. And then for our entry, we want to confirm with some price action, and we want to confirm with some buyers stepping in. We don't want to just blindly take the trade just because it's in our particular demand zone, supply zone area. We want to look for some confirmation, and there's a handful of ways to do that. As you can see, we have this line right here. This is going to be our EMA. We can take trades off of the EMA, and I do highly recommend people look at my indicator video, because that's going to give you a lot of options how you want to build your strategy, your trading strategy, and how you want to determine how you want to base your trade off of. Because I'm only going to show you a couple examples, but you may find some more that you like even more, that are more comfortable for your personality. But the most popular one is going to be the EMA SMA. When the price is over a certain level, when the price is over the EMA, that's when it represents that this is a good buy, it's time to buy this, and people will take trades off of that. They will say, okay, the price is over the EMA, the candlesticks are pretty strong, and we're also in our supply zone. So they'll say, okay, we'll take a potential trade off of that, or we're in our demand zone and we want to take a potential trade off of that. And that's how that would work. So let me break down exactly what I would do for where Apple is today. So as we're looking at Apple right now, it is currently in one of our supply and demand zones. This one has acted as support, and it has acted as resistance. So what you want to do, in what I'm looking at for this one, I would be looking to take this more short. Let's change this up. The reason why I would want to take this more short, just because on how it hasn't broken above this level yet. I will want to wait for confirmation to go long on this, but for right now, I will be short bias on this trade. But you don't want to just strictly get in. You want to wait for confirmation. You will want to wait for the EMA, the price to fall below the EMA, and you will want to see some type of candlestick confirmation to get in. You get in, you take your trade, your entry is around 167, and then your exit will be around 156. So that is how you determine your entries and exits. That's a simple way of doing it, using supply and demand zones. This is the critical way to make trades. Everybody has their own different style to it. Honestly, I think this is the best one. Any other strategy out there is really based on this in a sense, because if you're not understanding price, if you're not understanding where price is coming from and why people are psychologically deciding where to get in and where to get out, a lot of other strategies don't work. So check that out. Stick to supply and demand zones, and you'll be just fine in determining your entries and exits. If you have any questions, let me know down in the comment section down below. But that's going to wrap it up. It's me, your boy, Blessed Applesauce. Stay blessed, and I will see you next time. I'm blessed to invest.
Just to see tomorrow is a blessing. Stay prayed up is the message. Everything about a nigga blessed. Everything about a nigga blessed.